I never expected to save the most powerful woman in the galaxy. And I definitely never expected her to refuse to let me leave afterward. But that's what happens when your life crosses paths with Queen Mallory of the Zyreon Imperium, a ruler spoken of in hushed tones, feared by some, admired by others, and known for her cold, sharp brilliance. The kind of woman whose decisions shaped entire star systems. And somehow, I became the only human she trusted. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It started on the Outer Rim, on a rusting mining station called Redshift 3, where I worked as a simple engineer. A nobody. A cog in a giant corporate wheel. My days consisted of broken coolant pipes, faulty gravity regulators, and the occasional drunken worker who tried to rewire something they shouldn't. Normal. Predictable. Safe. Until the day a Zyreon envoy ship crash-landed right in Docking Bay 9. The alarm shrieked through the station as smoke billowed out. I was nearest, so I sprinted toward the wreckage, pulling on a breather mask. Flames licked the corridor walls. Sparks rained down like molten snow. I wasn't thinking about safety protocols. I wasn't thinking about danger. I was thinking about survival, all the lives trapped inside that ship. I forced open the hatch using a plasma cutter and stumbled into a ruined cabin full of injured Zyreon guards. Their skin, iridescent like a shifting gemstone, was charred. Their armor cracked. The crash had been brutal. "Anyone alive?" I shouted. A weak groan answered me. I followed the sound to the back of the cabin where a figure was pinned under fallen support beams. When I saw her, I froze. She wasn't just any Zyreon. She was the Queen. I recognized her immediately. Every species did. Her holographic image was used across the galactic network. Tall, graceful, with luminous silver eyes and markings that shimmered like stardust. Except now, one of those eyes was half closed from pain. Her breathing was ragged. Blood, glowing faintly blue, pooled beneath her. I swallowed hard. "Your Majesty?" I said, voice cracking. Her gaze locked onto mine, not with fear, but with an intense, burning focus. "You are human," she whispered. "Yeah," I said. "But I'm also the only one here who can help you right now." She gave a faint, humorless smile. "Then I will trust you for the moment." That was all the permission I needed. I used the plasma cutter to slice through the beams, cautious not to hit her. When she collapsed forward, I caught her, barely. Even weakened, she had surprising weight. Her hand clutched my shoulder. "Do not leave me," she rasped. "I won't," I promised. I carried her out of the burning ship as the station's emergency teams arrived. Zyreon soldiers tried to take her from me, but she raised a trembling hand. "No, he stays." And that was the moment everything changed. They brought her to the med bay, sealing it off from civilians. I expected to be dismissed immediately, thanked politely, maybe awarded a few credits. Instead, a Zyreon commander said, "Her Majesty requests your presence until she recovers." I blinked. "Why me?" She didn't say. But the Queen does not repeat herself. The medbay was surreal, full of shimmering healing fluid, holographic monitors, and Zyreon healers humming resonant spells. Mallory lay on an elevated platform surrounded by biolights. When she saw me, she exhaled, relieved. "You came back," she said softly. "You asked me to, and you obeyed." She smiled faintly. "Most do not." "I'm not most. I have noticed." She studied me with an intensity that made my skin prickle. "We owe you our lives," she said. "But more than that, you saw me in weakness. Pain. Vulnerability. Very few ever have." I swallowed. "Anyone would have helped." "No," she said firmly. "Not anyone. You ran toward danger without calculation or hesitation. That is rare. That is valuable. Her gaze softened. And I remember every being who has saved my life. The healers asked me to leave so they could work, but she shook her head. He stays, she commanded. I stayed. Hours passed. She drifted in and out of consciousness, always searching for me with her eyes as if making sure I hadn't vanished. When the healers worked, she winced, gripping my hand with surprising strength. At one point, she whispered, "You risked death for a stranger." "Not a stranger," I said quietly. "A person." Her eyes shimmered. Humans surprised me. Over the next few days, she recovered rapidly. Zyrians healed twice as fast as most species. But even when she could walk again, she insisted I remain close. Her guards hated it. "Your Majesty," one said, "this human is not trained for royal proximity." "He saved my life," she replied simply. "That makes him closer than any of you." It didn't matter that I was unimportant. It didn't matter that I lacked rank. She wanted me near her, and no one dared argue. I became her shadow by accident and by command. Whenever she moved through the station, I walked beside her. When she met with diplomats, she said, "He stays." When she ate, she asked me questions about human food. When she rested, she demanded stories about my childhood. Not as a queen demanding tribute, as a woman seeking understanding. One night, after hours of political tension, she sat beside me in the station's quiet observation deck. Stars glittered beyond the glass, constellations curling like luminous rivers. "Tell me," she asked suddenly, "why did you save me?" "Because you needed help." "That is not an answer," she said. "Most would have waited for orders. You did not." I couldn't just stand there and watch people die. She tilted her head thoughtfully. "You are ruled by compassion," she murmured. "It radiates from you. That is why I cannot allow you far from me." I blinked. "What do you mean?" She turned toward me fully. "I feel at peace near you," she said quietly. "A peace I have not felt since childhood. Your presence calms the storm inside me." My breath caught. "Your Majesty." "Maylori," she corrected softly. "When you speak to me alone, call me Maylori." The sound of her name like that, fragile, trusting, was surreal. "Maylori," I whispered. Her eyes closed briefly, as if savoring it. "You have become important to me," she said. "More important than I am comfortable admitting." My heart pounded. "Why?" "Because you saved more than my life." She paused. "You saved the part of me that still believes in gentleness." Silence filled the room. But before I could respond, her calm device beeped. A guard's voice came through. "Enemies of the throne approach. We must move the queen immediately." Maylori stood, but she didn't take a single step without reaching for my hand. "You will not leave my side," she said. "Not now. Not ever." The threat turned out to be real. A rogue faction of Zyrians, opposed to her rule, had tracked her to the station and planned an assassination attempt. The station went on full lockdown as her guards formed a protective circle. "Get the queen to the escape shuttle," one shouted.